Coming up on the Relationship Reset podcast. Their ability to share with you information, evidence, whatever the case is, whether it's true or not, their ability to share will be dependent on your ability to stay calm and to listen. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to not think that because you're listening, it automatically means that you believe them. Hola amigos, it's Karina, your relationship BFF, and welcome to the Relationship Reset podcast. This is the space where we press pause, tell the truth, and start doing the work to heal what's broken, especially after your partner has stepped out on you. Whether that means cheating, hiding things, or even breaking your trust, every single week I will help you work through the real issues so that you can stop spiraling, get clear on what's next, and finally feel like yourself again in this relationship. And speaking of healing, let me tell you about something that was a total game changer for my own marriage. When I think back to the early years of my marriage, my husband and I were arguing constantly and barely connecting. We needed something radically different for our marriage. And for us, that was therapy. Therapy was the game changer. It helped us uncover that most of our issues had actually nothing to do with each other, but more so with our own unhealed traumas that we hadn't processed. That's why I love BetterHelp. It's the world's largest online therapy service with over 25,000 licensed therapists. You can connect with someone via text, chat, phone, or video, whatever works for you. Plus, if the first therapist isn't the right fit, you can always switch to another one at no extra cost. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Karina F as in Frank Daves. The link is in my show notes. And amigos, don't wait. Support could be the game changer for your relationship too. And now on the Relationship Reset podcast. Amigos, welcome back to the Relationship Reset with me, your host, Karina F. Daves, marriage expert, speaker, and host of this dope podcast. Today's episode is called I Caught My Ex-Boyfriend Cheating on Me and I Decided to Stay. I'm going to tell you the story of how I was in what I thought a serious relationship and the things that really crossed my mind. And I think a lot of people can resonate with the story. And some may say, well, you didn't have kids, you didn't have a lot on the line. I get it. But many similar things to what I was thinking about caused me to give him another chance. And so we're going to get deeper into that. And this was actually a carousel post a couple of months ago, but this podcast episode is the extended version. So I was 22 years old and I was in graduate school. I was pursuing my master's in social work and I had met this particular guy. Let's just call him, what should we call him? We can call him Evan. So I met Evan when I was 22 and we hit it right off. I really felt like I wanted to end up with somebody that wasn't as serious when it came to life and was sort of necessarily didn't have to be the life of the party, but could make me laugh. And we were together for probably like 6 months to maybe 9 months at the time. And I really felt like we were just having such a good time. I mean, it was the peak of really me getting into, my first serious job while also being a hall director, which was crazy, and managing a staff and also getting an entire degree. And I just felt like if you could be with me through that, you could be with me through anything. Now, him and as an individual, he either hadn't gone to college or hadn't finished college. He was, working somewhere that was temporary and really didn't really have his life together. He was living at home at the time. And I really didn't feel like those things were anything for me to judge him for. We were 22. So who wasn't getting their life together at 22? But after about 6 to 9 months of dating, I really felt like it was important to introduce him to my family. in Peru. And there was a big opportunity where we were all flying out and about to, have a good time at a party and a celebration. And I just felt like, why not? While we were on this trip, though, it felt like even though he had agreed to go, it was as if it finally hit him that me bringing him to meet my family was a big deal. And the trip just felt off. It just felt something didn't feel right. And so when we came back, we both took a nap and his phone would not stop buzzing. And so while he was sleeping, I was like, you know what? This is my shot. I grabbed it, I figured out the code, and I saw it all. I saw text messages to another girl telling her all of the things that he felt for me, but for her. And I was devastated. And what's so interesting, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody before, but like when I read or even sometimes like am in an emotional state, I think my body just goes into shock. And at this point, just imagine I was literally in a closet, not even a closet that locked. I was in a sliding door closet reading how much he loved her, how much he wanted to see her, how much he wanted to be with her. And I was devastated. I was trying to figure out what's my next move here. I'm hiding in a closet. He should wake up soon. And then I heard someone yell, Karina, where are you? And I was like, ugh. He can't find his phone. He doesn't know where I am. And I heard him go out of my apartment and look for me. And then I heard him come back. And I actually was still in the closet because I had no idea what I should do. And so I stepped out, I confronted him, and I remember his initial reaction being like, let me explain. And he actually was begging to explain. And I was like, all right, fine. Just let me hear you out. And I think that was the first indication for me that I really had the ability to be able to listen to somebody regardless of how I felt. And the reason why I want to magnify this part is because plenty of times your partner, especially when you're going through infidelity, will want to explain themselves. And because you're already in this bubble of hurt and distrust, like you've already transported yourself to that, you will find it difficult to listen. And what I'm asking you to do is not to believe, but to listen. And what you're doing is thinking that because you listen, you believe and you've decided to believe. But that's not true. You can listen, ask follow-up questions calmly, and that's your opportunity to collect evidence. Their ability to share with you information, evidence, whatever the case is, whether it's true or not, their ability to share will be dependent on your ability to stay calm and to listen. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to not think that because you're listening, it automatically means that you believe them. This is such a pivotal moment right here. You understand? Hola amigos, let's get real for a second. If you're tired of walking on eggshells, tired of feeling like you're doing all of the work in this relationship, or even sick of wondering if your relationship can even survive what happened, it's time to stop spiraling and start healing. In my private one-on-one coaching program, we're not going to sugarcoat, we get deep. I help you break toxic cycles, call out the patterns that keep remaining y'all both stuck, and finally shift the energy in your relationship, but for real this time. So whether you're coming in solo or as a couple, I want you to know that the work starts with you. Hit the link in the show notes to book your consultation call. If you're ready to stop replaying the betrayal and start rewriting the story, then I'm the coach for you. I can't wait to meet you and I can't wait to work with you. Now, let's get back to the episode. So, my ex starts talking about how he was having a rough time personally and how he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life and he was just trying to figure himself out. And he ended it with wanting the opportunity to make it work with me. And I was like, all right, so he wants a second chance. I decided to forgive him. And I did decide to believe the fact that he wanted to work it out with me. In hindsight, I should have possibly asked other questions about where he was in his life so that we could break up sooner. Because I think that in that moment, while it was extremely devastating to be betrayed, I think that I could have kept myself away from even a worse breakup if I would have asked the right questions. And I don't really think that we see these pivotal moments in our relationships as opportunities. We just see them as a chance to say who's right and who's wrong. And instead, I should have asked the question when he said, I'm having a hard time in my life. I should have asked the question of, like, okay, well, why do you think that you go to her to be able to pacify the fact that you're having a hard time in your life? And he could have possibly said, because I'm trying to figure out if I should be with her or with you. And then I could have said, well, if that's the case, then I don't want you to be with me out of guilt. I want you to be with me because you think that that's what's right in your life. And if you don't have the answer to that right now, then I would say that we just end and you go be with her. And, I'm not going to be here waiting, by the way. But, I think that you should figure this out. And I think that while it takes being the bigger person to have said that, I wish I would have asked the right question in that moment. And then I'll cry about it later. Does that make sense? So a few weeks later, after I decided to give him a second chance, I posted a pictures of my birthday dinner on Facebook, and I tagged him. Let me tell you, he quickly untagged himself. And so I thought it was a glitch. And so I retagged him and then he untagged himself. And I was like, what is going on? 30 minutes later, he broke up with me via email. He shared with me again that the problem wasn't me, it was him. And I was devastated. And he actually ended up going on to, build a family with this girl. And that's fine. I mean, they ended up, I don't know where they are now, but they ended up building a life together. And I don't regret giving him another chance. And here's why. I really feel like that relationship allowed me the opportunity to practice grace. It allowed me the opportunity to practice understanding. And it allowed me the opportunity to put myself in the shoes of someone that vulnerably shared they were struggling and still wanted an opportunity to make it work. And so, yes, I decided to put myself in the middle of his personal struggles as his partner, but 9 out of 10 times, who doesn't? And things could have worked out differently. But I would say, looking back at that relationship, at least I gave repairing a chance. At least I gave repairing our relationship an opportunity. And I never once have to wonder, what if? Instead, I'm like, oh, well, I don't ever wonder what our relationship would have been like because I tried. I gave it another shot. I learned, and my sister says this, my sister Stacy, that I would much rather live a life of oh wells than what ifs. And looking back, I don't even see the relationship as a failure. That relationship taught me the warning signs of a disconnected partner, right? Because when we had gotten to Peru, it wasn't just my gut. Like, I can look back and be like, oh, I remember seeing him do this. I remember his uh-huhs. I remember this and that. And so it taught me what the warning signs of a disconnected partner look like. And it also showed me my threshold for grace. I feel like that relationship was a part of the story of what made me the woman and the coach that I am today, which is also helping other people do the same without losing themselves in the process. And having worked with so many clients that, are struggling with infidelity in their marriage or stepping out in their marriage, one of the biggest things that they get warped up on are having these long-winded conversations where they're talking about how hurt they are, which is completely valid, but they're not talking enough about how they got there. And that's exactly the work that I want to do with you. So if right now this episode resonates with you, we need to work together. Okay. Whether it's infidelity, whether it's disconnection, whatever the case is, I want to help you figure out how to create a version of your life story that you can look back on and be proud of. Be proud of that you either gave it a shot or you stand firm on your values. Okay? Let me pray for you. Father God, I thank you so much for this day. And before I recorded this episode, we talked a little bit about opportunity. And I thanked you for the opportunity. And so in this moment, I just thank you for the opportunity that many of us are given to have and be in relationships, whether that be family relationships, whether it be that romantic relationships. I just thank you for the opportunity to be in relationships, because it's only through relationships that we grow. Like, it's only through relationships that we gain community. It's only through relationships that we learn. When we are siloed, which is not what you want for us, we don't learn much. We may learn more mechanical things, more, how to do certain things, but we don't know how to be with one another, which is the true essence of being alive. And so I thank you for that opportunity. All right. Amen. I love you so much. If you resonated with this episode or this podcast, make sure you save it, share it with all of your amigos. Email me at team@KarinaFDaves.com and let me know what your feedback is. I would love to hear from you, or send me a DM on any of my socials at Karina F as in Frank Daves on Instagram or TikTok. My name is Karina F. Daves. I am a marriage expert, the relationship host of this dope podcast, and speaker. All right. Love you so much. Bye. If this episode made you pause, take a deep breath, or say, dang, she's talking about us, then good. That means that we're getting somewhere. You see, this podcast is here to help you stop avoiding the hard stuff and actually start healing. So if you're ready for more real talk, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at my handle, Karina F as in Frank Daves. And please make sure that you're also subscribed to my newsletter, Release Your Relationship, at KarinaFDaves.com. Every single week, I will drop straight to the heart tools and truths to help you face what's not working in your relationship so you can finally do something about it. If this episode resonated with you, please feel free to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts, hit the subscribe button, and share it with all of your amigos. Thank you so much for listening, and remember, one day at a time. I'll see you next week.